iPhone. Lynnley, let me ask you first about the analysis that you and Bloomberg undertook here, looking at these trillions of dollars that are overseas currently.
Well, we wanted to get a sense of which companies would come out so-called winners as opposed to losers if any of the repatriation proposals as suggested by President Trump and the House Republicans come to play. And it turns out that companies that had booked so-called large deferred tax liabilities for income tax payments on their unremitted offshore earnings are going to be doing very, very well.
Let me ask you what we've heard from the White House about repatriation of these profits. We had that one-page, 200-word statement of principles from the White House. Was there much therein about repatriation of profits?
There was not in the one-page bullet plan. In fact, there was even less detail than in the published tax reform plan now President Trump put out last fall during the campaign. What's clear is that both the administration and Congress need some ways to raise revenues, and repatriation is one way to do that.
So you look at these companies, some are more at an advantage than others, in part because of what they've done with deferred tax liabilities. Just explain, if you would, what a company like Apple has done versus others.
Apple, along with Pfizer, is really interesting. I mean, the two companies are really outliers when you look at large multinational corporations when it comes to tax planning for their untaxed overseas profits. Apple has booked an unusually large gross deferred tax liability for earnings left offshore that it doesn't plan to keep permanently reinvested. So it's helpful to look at the offshore pool and universe of earnings consisting of two buckets. One is the permanently reinvested or indefinitely reinvested earnings, and companies don't book deferred tax liabilities for those. Another bucket is earnings that we may want to bring back someday. We may need to do a deal, do share buybacks, pay dividends, whatever. And for those earnings that they expect to, quote-unquote, repatriate, they book a so-called deferred tax liability, which reflects the current 35% corporate income tax rate that they expect to pay upon bringing those earnings back, minus any credits for foreign taxes paid.